Morning, everyone. Good morning. It is Thursday. We know during our week we call this Trending Thursday. But good morning, everyone. This is Carol Sue, aka Nani Boss, live with
TwoSistas. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, with flitters of hair all around. And you know what? We love Trending Thursdays. And as I'm signing on, as I have often said, like I don't know what to put in the tagline, and it occurred to me what's trending is there's always an app for that. So what is that?
There's always an app for that. Well, I am not a big app person. Obviously, Thrive Connect I use all the time for my customers and clients, all about health and wellness. I usually use a few apps, but I'm not like overly, because again, it just the more apps you add, the more chaotic the alerts and all of that goes. So I'm not I use them and I use them daily, but I'm very limited.
Yes, well, I'm still a pen and paper person. That is a must, because you should always have a backup system. But I just discovered a new app yesterday called ToDoIst, and I'm in love.
Well, that's good. I mean, to go from one app to another, which you're good at doing, and is your forte. I just, I stick to what I like. Not that I'm not open to other things. Excuse me, I do. I look at them, but I don't want to overcomplicate things. I'm all about simplicity. And if you find something that works for you, go for it. Sometimes it's the timeline of it, or it outlives its usefulness. So when it gets to that point, then I will, I'm always open to see what else is out there. But I know we talked about sticky notes, which the physical sticky notes, which a lot of people use, and there's actually an actual app for that. But I think part of the whole app piece for me is my mindset. I don't want to be stuck to a computer. I don't want to be stuck to, looking at a phone all day long. And I find that I prefer pen and paper or my good old fashioned planner to get me through, to remind me what I have to do. And it keeps my mind sharper than an app. That's the downfall of an app. It almost makes it like push button, push button, push button. And at some point you really need to get your brain moving instead of, hearing the alerts and pushing buttons. I don't know. It's just my thing.
Well, for me, it's a little different, because it helps keep me I call it strategic organization. It's the backup has a backup. And for me, that's important, because I kind of freak out if I miss something, and we're all human. We miss things. Maybe we're late to an appointment. And so that is like, my paper is critical. That's first and foremost. So that's always a good thing. And it has to be what works for you.
Right. And a lot of people like to use, instead of a planner, they like to use the calendar that comes on their devices, which is also a good way to keep everything, copacetic, but also in one place, instead of 1,000, several different apps giving you different alerts about kind of like the same thing. So, I do use my calendar, but also is trending, which is a totally different subject. Semi-fascism, I was going to go there. And, it was ironic, we do incorporate politics and what's going on in our communities, in our country, because it all has to do with health and wellness. Because when you're stressed out, hearing different things about what's going on, yeah, it adds to your plate. It adds to that feeling of tug of war. But interesting enough, I have not, I don't pay attention to the news a lot anymore. You get the alerts. I may look at them. I may not. John will kind of update me if there's something that I really truly need to know. But I've stepped away from that on purpose, because I want to really embrace positive efforts. And sadly, I don't always think you get that when you're watching the news. But anywho, we decided there was a bunch of alerts coming in, and that word SF kept coming up. And I'm like, what is all that about? Excuse me, my allergies. Anywho, so I watched a little news last night, and one of the speeches that was replayed was from the person occupying the White House from, I believe, around January timeframe. And it was actually a fairly decent speech. Talked about bringing the country together, unity, keeping the noise down, the volume level down. And although I thought it was a little odd, because I don't just, when I speak about the person occupying the White House, it includes the administration, it includes everyone that is in line to be in that people's house. So obviously that would include the VP, that would include the Speaker of the House. And what I thought was, this is a great conversation, Mr. Biden, but I think you should be having it with your own personal staff, your VP and your speaker, because to the contrary of what he was really trying to project about unity, keeping the noise down, working together, extending, the olive branch across the aisle, his immediate circle has not been doing that. And that's pretty obvious. That's not even in a debate to argue. It has nothing to do with what side of the aisle he sits on, what political affiliation he's with. It has to do with that his own people are not even contributing to the things that he actually asked about in this particular speech. So they played that speech. And then apparently he made a speech yesterday, which was not directed at politicians, was not addressed to his cabinet, was not addressed to his administration, but rather to me, to you, to the American people. If you are a conservative, and I am a conservative, I'm a conservative in the sense of, my core values and all that, but I'm always open door and always willing actually to listen to other people. And even if their views are different, that's how maybe I learned something about them, or I actually may learn something about their perspective. So, I don't shut the door on the opposing side or multiple opposing sides. I just don't do that, because I think that that's not what our Constitution's about. Everyone brings something to the table, good, bad, and different. And for the sake of our Constitution, the American people, we have to find ways to communicate. Even your own families have to find ways to communicate if you have different perspectives. So the speech yesterday was very combative. It was very angry. It was very in your face, and it was to the American people. And I take homage to that. I really felt, I wouldn't say I felt insulted, but I got indignant over it. I'm not going to lie. I got a little angry over it, because I thought we are, even despite all the banana republic or craziness that everyone's talking about, we are still a very blessed country. We are very blessed citizens to be in the country that we live in, despite even everything that's going on. And we always say, you always look for the blessings, even in the darkest times. So there are many blessings out there. There's an abundance of a lot of different aspects of our lives, whether it's be prosperity, freedom. There's an abundance of that, even though there's some derailments going on. So I really took an insult, I guess insult would be the better word. I took an insult to someone who is in the people's house and calling out, I would say, now I am a stat person to a certain degree. I would say to at least 50%, maybe more, of citizens were actually called out in a very nasty way from the person that's occupying our house. I don't know. How did you feel about that? And I'm not angry. I'm insulted. I'm not going to lower myself to that anger and that anger. And I did use the word angry. It was more that I was insulted by it.
Well, as everyone knows, I typically do not like talking about things of that nature. That's just how I feel. But with that being said, I have talked about it and shared my thoughts and my views. Now, I don't care, and I just want to state this right off the bat. I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, conservative.
I agree.
That's not what I am saying. What my point on what happened yesterday, or my view was, I said that the person in occupying 1600 is a dick, D-I-C, divider in chief. And lo and behold, the tagline,
that's what was used,
was divider in chief. And I looked at that and I was like,
You put it out in the universe.
I hate being right. Let's just say in something like this, I hate being right.
Yeah. Because it's not
I
like,
feel-
you don't find, I think that's a good point. You don't find accolades in that. You don't like glorified. I had that tagline before,
No,
mainstream media.
no,
And it's not one of those kinds of things. It's just like
no,
other people feel the same thing.
it is, because if you look at everything that has happened now, if this was happening on, let's say, the other side, I would be just as upset.
Yes.
Okay, even though I don't really care for the person. We've always grown up with having respect for those who hold offices of such a nature. But when you look at the inauguration speech, which I thought was okay, and you look at what he said last night, I was flabbergasted. How can you, with everything going on in the world today, with the table talk discussions that are happening around the world, specifically in the United States of America, with inflation, gas prices, the border, need I go on and on? Yeah, I think we know where I'm going with that conversation. And you look at what he said, I was pissed. But I'm like, okay, let me be pissed. And I remember looking at my phone to see what time it was. I didn't specifically put on my timer. I said, I am going to be pissed as shit for 5 minutes. Technically, it lasted about 8. Let's just be realistic. But I had to let that aspect of it go. It is in the back of my mind, because that's something that I want to be abreast of, and hear what's going on. And that if you're trying to unite the country, you don't specifically call out a group the way he did in such a manner.
And then you think about what you just said, though, a group.
Right.
I mean, we're citizens of this country. We love our country. We don't necessarily have to agree with the politics, and that's why, thankfully, there are changes that occur. But I've never, ever in my 64 plus years have ever heard anyone in his position, other than maybe Senator McCarthy, that's a whole other topic that we won't go into, desecrate our citizenship in the manner in what he did. And I have to say, I was very alarmed. I don't see how that helps the country come together. I don't see how that's an olive branch to the opposite side. The point being, we have a uniqueness. We're all different. We look different. We have different gut health. We have different fitness levels. We have different political and religious beliefs, whatever it may be. But the object of humanity should always be to bring people, even with differences, together, to work them out, to embrace and actually validate the differences and see where the common ground is. When you come out and you really annihilate over 50% of the population of the country, the greatest country, to me, was a really disservice to your party. It was a disservice to your family. It was a disservice to the people that you're supposedly representing, because you always said, you didn't care what side of the aisle they were from. You didn't care what people's ideologies were, that you were going to be the one that was going to unite everyone. And I would hope that you retract what you said. A postured person would say, you know what? I am sorry, I used the wrong language. I used the wrong words. This whole labeling, Trumpsters, stop the labeling. We're people. We are citizens. If you're going to have to label us, we're United States citizens. Use that label.
Well, yeah, this conversation really can go very deep. And what I will say also is that I shouldn't say you, but when a person in that level of office goes to the level of he's
Going-
he's
Oh.
bullying. That's exactly what he was doing. And I figured it out last night after the 8 minutes went by, and I'm like, he's a bully. He's just a bully because he's not getting his way. All these things are happening. I'm not going to go to in each and everything that is happening. And there's a red wave that is coming that I think they really know is coming. And it's to the point, like he's on that surfboard right now and it's rocking. And I think a lot of people after the midterms, I think some people are going to be shocked, but I should say that it shouldn't be, because I think the red wave is definitely coming.
Well, see, I don't even use that term, the red wave, anymore. We are the colors, red, white, and blue. So America, red, white, and blue wave is coming. We have to understand that, yes, we are blessed that we have democracy, that we have multiple parties to fit ideologies and perspectives from all Americans. But at the end of the day, we're Americans. And, there are too many from an American standpoint, meaning citizenship, not the political mumbo jumbo that's out there right now. That's dancing, not dancing, with the dance, not with the dance. Americans are really starting to say, you know what? I'm tired of this. I want unity. We're always going to have differences. That's part of humanity, but we've got to do better. We have to show the next generation beyond that we are not going to totally debacle our democracy. And that's sadly what is transpiring. And like you said, we don't want to dwell on it. But, it did impact by, you're away, enjoying family and friends. And then, you hear that tone come out from that person. And it was disappointing. I hope I understand he is speaking today. I've never actually listened to him speak live. That's my choice. I'll go back to like a replay and fast forward to different pieces, but I would hope that today that he would either address what he said yesterday and put people more at ease, focus on unity, stop focusing on labeling people, and talk to us as a whole, as American citizens. I hope for the good of the country, that is what he does. And I pray for that. Don't know that it's going to happen, but I'm going to pray for it.
I do too, as well. And, I'm looking though at so many different things when you think of what he said last night, and look at the House. Okay. And, look at the staff, the press secretary, the VP. Like, does the VP have the support of her staff? She's going through a lot of staff. There's so many different things that don't add up for me. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Right.
So when your own house is not in order,
right, chaos happens. And I think we can all relate to that. Like when you're having stress within your own house, and we're talking specifically about our houses, whether, people are being pulled in a bunch of different directions. Maybe you got sick people in the house. Maybe your appointment overload, and you're running in different directions and you're not talking to each other. You're passing each other in the hallway. And, hey, are you picking up the kids at this time? Blah, 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 blah. What do you mean? You didn't tell me that. I got this going on. There's miscommunication going on. It happens in every house. We don't have the luxury of having a staff. We are the staff. Moms, dad, grandparents, we are the staff.
mm-hmm.
So we don't have that kind of a luxury. And plus we don't have the same types, obviously, stresses that running the people's house has. However, positivity goes a long way. Being mindful of that, you not are only the representative of your party, you're really the representative of the people of this country. And I hope that he embraces that and keeps that in mind, that calling us names, and they're not, they're not names that you would take lightly. I mean, these are serious names and implications that you're calling your citizens. I hope he does better.
I hope he does better as well. And wow, there's so much more I could say.
Well, we can't, but
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
what's trending.
Yes, that is what's trending. Yes.
That is what's trending. But there's also goodness trending, a lot of different stuff trending, which we actually experienced in the last 48 hours. We were excited that we got to go see our cousin's band Primetime. It happened to be actually one of the most humid days, even compared to Florida. It was pretty humid here 2 days ago. And then within 24 hours, we were wearing jeans. So, only in New England. Also, what's trending is our sibling turned the big 7-0 today,
Yikes.
this morning, whatever time.
Happy
I don't
birthday.
remember what our birthday.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I thought it was pretty early, but I don't know. I could be wrong. But anywho, so happy birthday, Claudine. Big 7-0. It's just a number. She knows that. We know that. But she is the elder of the elders.
That's right. And that the eldest elder just momentously went into another decade. So
Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah, that's a well, I wouldn't. Why you say she said it, Claude? I didn't. Yikes. It's just another decade.
It is.
It's just
It
another
is.
decade, and it's just a number. And I hope she celebrates and has a great day with Hutch and the kids and the grandkids and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's also trending is I see the paper in the background flittering.
What?
My thing over there.
Oh, that's what's trending. The
Yeah.
paper? Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
keep on seeing something flying. I'm like, what is that?
How are
And
your
I just
allergies?
realized-
Like my allergy. Well, of course, I'm in a different season, what I consider a different season, but
Well, in the morning I tend to cough a
Yeah.
lot more, but
yeah, and I don't. So I'm like,
But on that note, what is trending for you out there? How do you feel about what's going on? We would love to hear from you. We do our website does have voicemail, or you can, write in a contact form. Even if your viewpoint is totally different from ours, we would love to hear from you. We just always ask that we keep things respectful, as we
Yes,
always try to do as well.
absolutely. Yeah.
Opposing viewpoints are definitely welcome. So reach out to us, let us know how you're doing, what's trending for you. And
The one more thing that's trending, I've seen a lot of people going to Paris. I happened to be checking social media early this morning, and I know quite a few people that are in Paris. Love Paris. I hope all these people are having a great time. It's good to see people out and about, traveling, getting back to living.
Yeah, getting back to life. All right. On that note, we hope you have an amazing Trending Thursday. And what is going on for tomorrow? Not sure.
Fantabulous Friday.
Fantabulous Friday.
8 a.m. We have no guests on, but we will. We may be doing a follow-up chat for whatever precipitates today. Hopefully, it's good. Let's all pray as a country that leadership unites us and not divide us. And on that note, this is Carol's note. That is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live last day in New England with
TwoSistas. Hey, it's Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0. We'll see you again real soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.